Hi guys, this is the Michael Myers Fanatic back with another video. I don't mean to state the obvious, but I'm a really huge Halloween fan. I know I sound stupid saying this because I'm stating the obvious, but I love Halloween. The first 8. Let me clear that up. So that's why I'm making this video. You can see the title of this video, My Timeline. This is my timeline. This is the way I consider the franchise to be. This is what I would have done if I had my way. None of the sequels are ignored. They are all canon. They all connect with each other. 1 through 8. Even 3, because as far as I'm concerned, you could easily make the argument that 3 just takes place in a different town. And you could make the argument that it would make sense for Michael Myers not to be there because he was in a coma in the 80s anyway. So technically he didn't have to appear on screen. You may say, well, what about when they show the Halloween footage? You could just ignore that part. That is the only part that I would ignore. But other than that, I don't ignore anything else. It's all canon. Now let me get to the point. All the sequels that you see, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, they all would come out in the dates that they actually came out. Part 1 would come out in 1978. Part 2 would come out in 81. 3 would come out in 82. 4 would come out in 88. 5 would come out in 89. 6 would come out in 95. 7 would come out in 98. 8 would come out in 2002. Now, here's where it's a little different. Part 9 would come out in 2004, but I wouldn't bring it out in the fall. I'm sorry, that's my opinion. Actually, I'm not sorry. I'm going to stop apologizing for my opinion. I'm not sorry. I would make it come out in 2004. You don't like it? Tough. I would make it come out in the summer of 2004. Why the summer, you ask? Because that's when the kiddies are home. Why would you make it come out in October? They're in school. Wouldn't you get more money if they're home? Think about it. So I would make it come out in the summer of 2004. July to be exact. Probably July 12th, 2004, to make it exactly 2 years after Resurrection. That's when 9 would come out. And as far as Part 10 goes, I would make it come out in July of 2008. That way it can commemorate the 30th anniversary. And before I go any further with this video, I want to give a shout out to Daniel Culver because he inspired me to make this video. Very good friend of mine on Facebook. Shout out to you, sir. One of the true Halloween fans, in my opinion, because he respects the original timeline. And as far as we are concerned, they all connect with each other. Our timelines are 1 through 8. I don't do all that stupid crap like, oh, I'm only going to acknowledge 1, 2, 7, and 8. Or, oh, I'm going to just do 1, 2, and 7. No, it's 1 through 8. All 8 movies. The Rob Zombie films are nowhere in my timeline, so don't even go there. So once I did part 10 for the 30th anniversary, after that, yes, I probably would remake it. But here's the difference in my remake and Rob Zombie's remake. Even the remake would connect to the first 10 films. Myers fan, how does it connect? Well, the Michael Myers Fanatic will tell you how it connects. It connects like this. When the movie comes on, obviously Michael Myers kills his sister Judith, right? Then he gets arrested, goes to Smith Grove and all that stuff, and he starts killing people in the asylum. It's sort of like Rob Zombie's Halloween in that respect. And his second kill of the movie would have a scene with oatmeal in it. And you might say, why would you pick oatmeal? Because you have to pick a food where he can hide the poison. And you can hide something in oatmeal. You can't hide it in, chicken or something. You have to pick something where he can hide the poison and stir it up and mix it in, Sort of like with Cursed Chucky and the chili. But anyway, there's going to be a scene, if I did the remake of Halloween, where this kid is basically messing with Michael, and you don't want to give Michael too much of a motive to make him kill people, because it does make him less scary. But this is the one time where he would have a motive to kill. I mean, I don't really think it would hurt the character, because you would still have all Michael's classic elements. Like in this movie, he can still disappear and reappear like a ghost. He still does the iconic breathing, where he goes I can't do it like the movie can, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Anyway, in my remake, there would be a scene where this kid is basically messing with him. And so the kid walks away for whatever reason. Michael Myers goes up to the bowl of oatmeal, and you just hear this breathing, and you see Michael's POV. And he goes up, and you just see this little hand come up with the box of poison or whatever. Where would he get poison? Hey, you guys are overthinking it. Just enjoy the friggin' movie. He gets the poison, pours it in the oatmeal, mixes it up, and walks off. Kid comes back, sits down, starts eating the oatmeal, and then all of a sudden he just starts violently convulsing and shaking and whatnot. Falls onto the floor. It's a really gross scene. You see the oatmeal coming out of his mouth and everything, and he dies on the floor. Michael's standing in the background in the darkness watching the kid die, breathing and stuff like that. And there was even a scene where he chokes a girl. Now, I wanted him to originally do it with a rope or something like that, but I think it would be creepier if he did it with his hands. And again, here come the fans. How is Michael going to choke somebody with his hands if he's only a kid? He's Michael Myers. He's otherworldly. He's not quite human. He is human, but he isn't. So basically, he chokes the kid with his bare hands until she stops moving. So basically, that's the way it would go. And by the way, I want to clear up something. You wouldn't see Michael as an adult because you already have that in John Carpenter's Halloween. So there's no need to show that again, like Rob Zombie did. This would focus completely on young Michael Myers. And some are going to say, well, that would take away from the mystique of Michael. Look, I've already hypothetically given you 10 installments. What mystique is there to be left? So, if you don't like my idea for the remake, you could just go back and watch the first 10. You might say, why 10? I'm speaking hypothetically. If they actually made 10 movies, 10 canonical movies, you can just go back and watch the first 10 if you don't like the remake. That's basically the way my timeline would go. It goes straight through from 1978 to 2008. 2008 would mark the 30th anniversary, and it would mark the final installment in the original timeline. And then you're going to say, well, what would you do for the 40th anniversary? I have that covered. This is what I would do for the 40th anniversary. I would release a Blu-ray, like I told you. It would have John Carpenter's Halloween. John Carpenter would come back for the commentary. I would also pay him like a load of money to do the tracks. He can update the tracks and everything. The musical tracks, I mean. And on the second disc, it would have a 6-hour retrospective covering every film in the franchise. Hypothetically speaking, Rob Zombie's films would not be in there because in my timeline, they simply don't exist. And that's basically all I have to say about my timeline for the Halloween franchise. I've already made a video about this in the past, but I figured I would make another one. So let me go over it with you again. The first 8 movies would come out in their respective years. 78 would come out in 78, so on and so forth. When you get to part 9, that would come out in July of 2004, like I told you. Then I would wait 4 years for the 30th anniversary. That would come out in July of 2008. Myers fan, why are you picking July? Because that's when everybody's home. And then after 2008, I would probably remake it. And the remake would probably come out in 2011. And then for the 40th anniversary, I would simply re-release John Carpenter's Halloween, with John Carpenter coming back to update the soundtrack a little bit and doing the commentary. That's basically all I would do. And if you don't like that, too bad, but that's the way my timeline goes. So I want to thank you guys for listening. I'm the Michael Myers Fanatic. I approve this message. This has been my timeline for the Halloween franchise. I'm ignoring 2018 because I don't agree with it. Thank you very much.